what I've got here is about 20 minutes worth of work so far, and this side is definitely not ready for fluting because the tip comes up a little bit curved. The thickest part of the base is over here to the side. Nothing says flute me on this side, but this side, the tip is thin, it's curved a little bit downward, which you don't want curvature, but if you have it, it better be away, not up. And the base has its thickest spots in the middle, and the thickest part of the whole piece is right here. So I've got convexity left to right and front to back. I go from thick, thickest, thinnest, and from the left to right I go thin, thickest, thinnest. So this area stands out as the tallest area, and I've made that happen with my flaking. Now we're going to set up the base. Being able to flute is a little bit about knowing how to hit a rock and a lot about setting it up and holding it. And I'm going to square this end off. Then I'm going to send some guide flutes. Now, there's a lot of people out there that have emailed me wanting to know how I flute. Here's how it is. My idea is, this is the bully in the neighborhood, and he's got friends on the left and right of him, and I'm going to get rid of his friends so that I can kick his butt. And I'm going to take at least 2 of his friends out over here and 2 out over here. So there went one buddy. There went another buddy. There went another buddy. And there went another buddy. Now through all that, I left a little ridge right in the middle there. I'm going to go back and thin these sides. And I'm very picky about the fluting nipple that I create. Now notice my angle is away from the nipple. I'm this way because my flake's going to pair out, and I don't want this to happen on the left and the right and those low spots to meet just past where my nipple is, because then I won't have a continuation of mass when I flake. I'll just have a really thick nipple sitting out there. Now I'm going to come back in here and get this thing to stand out. And this thing does not have to be that big. I've made clovises that were pretty darn big, and when I say that, I mean 8, 9, 10 inches. This sucker's maybe, what, 5 inches long. If you get him sturdy enough, you don't have to be that big if you're going to hit it head on pretty good. Now I'm going to grind all around it. And I test its strength by grinding it. You know, if it falls away, better to have ground it away than to try to strike it, because anything a grinder can take away, you don't have any business striking with a pressure flaker. Now, I've set this sucker up pretty close to center line. Sometimes people set them really far off, and I like to set them off a little bit. But on my first flute, I may end up regretting having this so close to center line, but it's kind of a give and take. Too close to center line, I may end up thinning my base so much that I don't have enough mass to flute with to the other side, but it'll really get me a good thin area. And I'm trying to grind this to the angle that I want, and that's kind of set up like that. Now as far as I'm concerned, I'm not happy with this little ridge over here to the side. That little guy right there has got to go. He's almost as big as the nipple. There we go. Just to be safe, looks like he had a few friends show up, so we're going to get rid of them. I want it to be a one-on-one fight so it's fair, and I'm prepared to smack him in the head really hard. Alright, I think that's going to work. So for all you want to see how I flute, and this is the same stuff that Paleo Man, Clovis Man from Idaho taught me, Mike Tilzinski. That's what I'm going to be hitting. Now it's nothing but a wrap it with leather, hold it, smack it, and hope it stays in one piece. I used to wrap this thing in a lot of leather, but why do that now?
You put a lot of pressure against your leg?
I'm pushing it in, but I'm not like jamming it in.
Okay.
I'm more concerned with the pressure that my forefingers and my thumb are giving, starting about a centimeter down from the ear. And I'm making sure that there's no pressure on the top face or bottom face. And I've got it kind of tucked into this leather here, into the fat of my leg. Some guys will sit it out here and hit it there. I like to have it about 45, right in there. And I'm just going to use I think that's about an inch popper or so. Take a few practice swings. I haven't fluted in a while. The key for me is don't give a crap whether you're going to break it in half or not. So let's see. The goal is to either hit it and hit it right or not hit it at all. So we'll see how many times I miss first. And that's about as bad as you can do without breaking it in half.
Just a little skimmer.
Yeah, I caught it really good, but that's a sign of some pretty fragile or brittle rock, or I just didn't have the nipple strong enough. But I seriously doubt that, considering that nipple I thought was pretty sturdy. So all we can do is set it up to try to flute the other side. Sometimes if you do that, you can come back and get the other side again, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. I'll tell you what, nothing sucks more than trying to make stuff with a video camera on you. It's quite frustrating how many times you can do it and then get a camera on you and you can't do it once.
That's why you got to record every time you do it.
Yeah.
Everything you make.
So I'm just going to grind all the way around this thing, and I'm going to go all the way around it. Every pressure flake I take is going to hopefully go about 40% across and set up a ridge. And now that I've screwed up one side, I could care less about the other, so I'm going to smack the crap out of it. I could care less. That's usually when you get your best ones.
Got about 2.5 minutes left on this third part.
I just go ahead and skip all this pressure setup, and we'll just show it to them. A little careful and get some of this thickness off the side. I don't want to give that energy any escape routes. They tend to break in half when the energy escapes from the side. I think we're either going to break it in half, go really short, or about halfway up the piece. I'm thinking if I catch it good, I might could get a really nice clovis flute up to about there. But we'll see. Lord knows I'm going to hit it like I don't care, because the other side's already freaking ruined. But then I'll get this side good and have to go back and fix the other side and probably break it in half doing that. But we'll see. So let's do another close-up on what this one looks like. This one's a little more offset. If you look at it, it's a little further away from center line than the last one. About as sturdy. That's the size I typically use for a 4 to 5 inch clovis. And it's definitely sturdy enough to handle a smack that'll take it up to, I'm thinking here, but there is that remnant of that earlier flute channel. So if I don't catch the nipple good enough, I may not make it through that little guy there, but that's totally okay if it's part of my flake. It's just my flake can't run through that. So how much material I grab when I hit this is gonna really make a difference, but we'll see. Wrap it up, get it in the fat of my leg, line it up. I'm gonna go a little bit more aggressive of an angle so that I got a better chance of grabbing. Well, there you go. That worked out pretty good. And the flute survived. Wow. That's usually how it